I respect you, the lead of today's discussion, your cabinet of masters, the two parasites, and the beautiful faces of Abraham. I strongly support the motion as I firmly believe that ignorant cultural practices is the main cause of bad behavior due to the following views. Ignorant cultural practices has led to individualism and selfishness. In those ancient days, people could gather together, people could share what they have with each other, but these days it has been ignored. In those days, in case of a death of someone, people could drum and blow horns so as to communicate to others that there is a problem happening. When the people hear of that, they will come and gather in an area so as to assist what has the problem that is taking place. But these days, in case of any death, they ignore, they just continue with their business. And my second point is ignorant cultural practices has increased. Ignorant cultural practices has increased the rate of theft. In those days, aunties could encourage girls to carry out
Excuse me,
craft
madam.
making.
Audience, you are not allowed to ask any question until they first conclude.
My point was ignorant cultural practices has increased theft. In those days, aunties could gather their children to teach them activities like craft making, and uncles could gather their boy children to teach them practices like hunting in Buganda culture. But these days,
When I continue.
Honorable have said that long ago, in those days, artists used to gather their children and teach them craft work and also counsel them. But today, we also have counselors, we also have labs which teach us crafts and whatever.
but they don't give that is the best. They don't give that is the best. They just try their level best, but it's not as it was in those ancient days. Most of the families in Uganda used to practice such, but these days you might find in some schools, few of the schools practice that. Mr. Atwine. These days people have jobs because they don't. These days people don't have jobs. Some of the people are thieves because they ignore cultural practices. Children are not taught how to make crafts, and others are not taught hunting. Those who are not educated decide to go and carry out theft so as to earn a living, and that is a bad practice. And ignorant cultural practices has led to laziness. In those days, in Buganda culture, we used to have dances like Baksimba and Mwogola. And in Bunero culture, we used to have Ekstaguro, whereby your body could be kept fit all the time. But these days, such activities have been ignored, whereby you may find a young child of 3 years suffering from a disease called obesity, or one suffering from a disease called heartbeat or heart pressure. With those two remarks, I beg to submit.